From first glance at this one seed, it seems as though there are tons and tons of mountains surrounding spawn, and there definitely is, because in hundreds and hundreds of blocks around the direct vicinity of spawn, there are absolutely massive mountains reaching up as high as they could go. But as everyone knows at this point, mountains are hard capped at Y256. But that doesn't mean that other things can't reach beyond Y256. And this seed definitely has that, with generation that not only goes above Y256, but actually fairly decently above it too. We'll talk about that soon enough, but first off, let's talk about the spawn, because your spawn is located right here, right on the very edge of this absolutely massive mountain right here, as you are facing this other massive mountain. Not sure if that's the correct wording for it, but if we take back a little bit and look back here, take a look at that frame. Like, seriously, you have one huge mountain over here, then a huge gap going down, and then another huge mountain over here. Might be a canyon is what I'm thinking about, I don't know. But whatever, in case you think these two mountains are the only two absolutely massive mountains, which, by the way, these are absolutely humongous, because for a huge amount of it, it goes pretty much, again, as high as it can physically generate. But then looking off in the distance over here, we could see, yeah, once again, another huge mountain, not going quite as high as the other ones we were just on. And that's because all the huge mountainous terrain is actually in this direction. And think about this. This is relatively flat, at least for a mountain biome, and it's even in cloud level. That's how high most of the seed actually is. And how far do these huge mountains actually go? Well, if we actually just fly off in this direction for a little bit, we can see that these mountains go off in a very, very far direction. 1,400 blocks in a singular direction, and even though these mountains aren't quite as tall as the other ones over there, still, having mountains go off so far in a single direction with actually quite a decent amount of actual flat land, pretty incredible, pretty amazing. But of course, even though these mountains are huge and massive, they are sort of kind of expected. Like, you know what to expect when you go on them. Well, I'm almost certain there's one thing in particular inside this seed that you almost certainly want to expect: a Pillager Outpost all the way up there. A Pillager Outpost that actually spawned on top of one of these higher peaks right here, which means that the very top of this Pillager Outpost goes all the way up to Y264. I've personally seen some generation that goes slightly above the Y256 limit, but I've never seen it go 8 whole blocks above the 256 limit. Like, this is absolutely insane and crazy in all the right ways. Though I guess the only tricky thing is if you are early game and you are trying to battle this, you're gonna have one or two small little drops here and there around the place. And you know the crazy thing about this Pillager Outpost is that I think it could actually physically go higher, because if we go down to the ground floor, we could see we are at Y244, which means if it actually generated on like Y256 ground level all the way up here, it could probably reach the 270s. Like, honestly, it physically could. It'd be amazing to see something like that. Maybe even something going all the way to the world height if possible. But until then, this is the physical tallest type of generation I have found so far inside of Minecraft generation. Whose idea was it to build all the way up here? Because whoever it was, good job, good on you, good idea. Speaking of good ideas, it's probably a good idea to head your way down the mountain and near this one village. One, because obviously, you know, villages are always cool to head to, but also because beneath this one village right here, we can see there's a mob spawner just sitting itself literally right here, which just so happens to have an enchanted apple inside. And again, with relative ease, like it's what, a 10 block jump down into some water? Like, seriously, this is probably the easiest enchanted apple you're ever gonna get. But there's still more reasons in hang to this village, because beneath that, beneath the mob spawner, and beneath everything else, we can see there's an ancient city sitting itself literally just right here. But because of the nature of this seed with the vast amount of mountains, this isn't the only ancient city you're gonna find around spawn. Because around so many spots around spawn, there is ancient city upon ancient city, left, right, and center. Pretty much everywhere you go underneath the ground, you're going to find deep dark, and you're gonna find an ancient city. This one in particular you might want to head to, because it's not just one, but two connecting on top of each other. We got the non-portal over there, and then just off in this direction right here, we can see we have another non-portal just right here. But yeah, not only are you not short of the vast amount of mountain generation, but you're also not short of a vast amount of ancient cities sprawling across everywhere across the spawn. But yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.